Okay, so division of algebra. There's a question there on the board. So 2x minus 1 divided into 8x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. There's first thing to notice about the question is what's being divided into. That's the 8x cubed. There's a coefficient, or that there's a number in front of the x cubed, the x squared, the x, and there's a normal number. Okay, so there's no changes or additions that need to be made to the question before we can move forward with it. A couple of simple things. Basically, you'll always say first into first. So the first part of the divider into the first part of what's being divided. So the numerator and the denominator. So say to yourself, what's 2x divided into 8x cubed? If you're having trouble with this, write it down. 8x cubed means 8 by x by x by x, 2x. So two of those x's will go. So you're left with 4x squared. Put that down. Now multiply it back down. So it multiplies into that part, and the two answers will go in here and here. So 4x squared by 2x, 8x cubed. I'll just put it a little bit below it just to keep it tidy. 4x squared multiplied by minus 1 is minus 4x squared. Draw your line, then change the signs of what's on the bottom. So that will change to a minus, and this will change to a plus. Now subtract corresponding terms. So 8x cubed minus 8x cubed, they will cancel for me. 2x squared plus 4x squared, 6x squared. The minus 5x drops down, and you just start the entire process all over again. First into first. So again, my first is the 2x. This time my first is 6x squared. Again, if you're having a little bit of trouble, you can say 6x squared, which is 6x by x, divided by 2x. So the answer here is 3x. That 3x then is going to multiply by the 2x and by the minus 1, and then those answers Okay, so what was I doing? I was saying 3x by 2x is 6x squared. Let's put that back in blue. And then 3x by minus 1 is minus 3x. Draw your line, change the signs again. 6x squared minus 6x squared, they'll cancel. On your calculators, or just be very careful with this. Minus 5 plus 3 is minus 2x. The plus 1 drops down, and you repeat the process again. So first into first. So 2x into minus 2x is minus 1. Multiply that back down, so it's minus 2x plus 1. Both of those need to be the same, so as that when you change the signs, they'll cancel, and the remainder will be 0. Okay? Do another question. Let's try something like this. 2x plus 1 divided into 6x cubed minus 13x squared plus 4. If you have a look at that, what's missing there is there's no x value in the second part of it, or in the numerator. The question can be done without changing that over. Having said that, it will be made an awful lot simpler for you if you rewrite it as 6x cubed minus 13x squared plus 0x plus 4. Because everything is kept under, all the x squareds will be under the x squareds, x is under x's, etc. So you'll start again. So you'll say first into first. So 2x divided into 6x cubed, well, that's going to be 3x squared. You'll multiply it back down, so it'll be 6x cubed. 3x squared by 1. Don't forget to draw the line, change the signs. They'll cancel off for me. On your calculator or otherwise, minus 13x squared minus 3x squared is minus 16x squared. Make sure you don't make mistakes with the signs. Plus 0x, bring it down. And now start again, first into first. So 2x into minus 16x squared will be, well, first of all it's going to be a minus, an 8 and an x. So multiply back down, minus 8x by 2x, so minus 16x squared. And let's don't just take that for granted. Make sure you actually do the multiplication, because it's a way of checking your work all the way down. At this stage you're probably realizing that whatever goes in at this part here needs to be matching just what's above it. But don't just take that for granted. Make sure you check it each time. Minus 8x by 1 is minus 8x. Draw your line, change the sign, so that will be a plus and a plus. They'll cancel off for me. 8x drops down, plus 4 follows, and then you begin again. 2x into 8x, well, that's going to be plus 4. Remainder is 0. Okay. If you can follow that, if you can manage that, that's about as awkward as it's going to get. Just to be aware, 1 year, the questions can be asked in different ways. Sometimes it might say, for example, 6x cubed minus 13x squared plus 4, and they'll use a division symbol. They could write it like that. Just to be aware, they could also ask it this way. Okay. One other kind of question, I'm not going to do it all out, but another question, just sometimes it catches people, would be x squared plus 3x plus 2, and sometimes that's to be divided by x plus 2, or something along those lines. The procedure is exactly the same. Okay, just do the same thing, first into first, multiply back down. There is one other kind of question that can sometimes get people. I'm just seeing if I can spot one here. Yeah, I'll give you one here, watch. This is worth doing. If I gave you this question, sometimes a question like that will put people off. Okay, and it puts them off because there are now 3 terms in the divisor. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this as a last question. You will still tackle it the exact same way. It'll still be front into front, or first into first. So 3x squared into 6x cubed, that'll be 2x. Sorry, before I even start that, just one thing. So I'm going to change how it looks. So first into first, so 3x squared into 6x cubed is 2x. Now that 2x will multiply, but it will multiply by all 3 terms in the divisor. So I'll end up with 6x cubed, then I'll say 2x by minus 8x, and then 2x by 4. Change all of the signs. You'll have 3 things to divide into, and you'll start again. So 3x squared into 3x squared doesn't go 0 times, it goes once. multiply everything back down. So again, that plus 1 has to be multiplied by the 3x squared and the minus 8x and the plus 4. So you'll end up with 3x squared minus 8x plus 4. Draw the line, change all of your signs. You can see there that the remainder will be 0. Okay? And that's a question that might catch people out. And I don't, at the top of my head, I don't think it's been asked before. Okay?